All right, welcome to Talking Investing. I'm Tom, and as always, this is not financial advice. Today, I want to bring you a Bitcoin miner video update on a specific Bitcoin miner. I think this is the most undervalued Bitcoin miner right now out of all of the publicly traded Bitcoin miners in North America. Now, I do think there's a lot of opportunities, and if you follow the channel, you'll know that the Bitcoin miners have had a huge run-up already in 2023, including the miner I'm going to talk about today, but I do think there's a lot of room ahead. So as always, not financial advice, but I want to go through this miner. I think this is going under the radar, so I want to show you what I'm looking at, and I'm going to let you know why I think this is undervalued. So obviously, you need to do your own due diligence, make up your own mind, and decide if this is a good investment. I do think this is worth having on your watch list at the very least, particularly if you're interested in Bitcoin miners. If you are interested in Bitcoin miners, we talk about Bitcoin and the miners all the time on this channel. So if you're new to the channel or you have not yet subscribed, please do us a great big favor and subscribe to the channel, smash the like button, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. It does make a giant difference for the channel, and we appreciate it. So, okay, let's talk about RIOT Energy, stock ticker IREN. They are a Bitcoin mining company. I don't believe I've done a deep dive on this company on the channel in a long time. In the member section, we have talked about this frequently. So let's take a look at RIOT Energy. First of all, it's trading at $6.60 right now. One of the things I want to focus on is the market cap. And this is where I think people miss a lot of the big picture. People get very fixated on the stock price, and this is $6.60. So there's an awful lot of Bitcoin miners that from a share price are less than this. But if you look at the market cap, this is a $366 million market cap. I'm going to show you where that fits in, and I'm going to show you why I think that's very undervalued at this point. This is a stock we talk a lot about on the members only live stream. And I do want to give a shout out to one member in specific. Edmund has been talking about this stock all year in 2023, maybe even back into 2022. So shout out to Edmund for really sticking with this stock and building your position to dollar cost averaging in over time. And for those of you who don't know, we do have a member section. You can help support the channel and get a bunch of extra information, including a once a week members only live stream every Tuesday after the market closes. You can do that by hitting the join button on the YouTube channel. It's right next to the subscribe button. If you don't see a join button, there should be a link in the pinned comment below. Special thanks to all the existing members. It does help keep this channel going, and welcome to any new members. Okay, let's talk about RIOT Energy. Okay, let's jump to their monthly operational update. The first thing I want to point out is you're going to see here, Bitcoin mined 428. So in the month of June, they mined 428. Average operating hash rate, 5.587, so just about 5.6 exahash is where they're at right now, and they say that up here. So I want to dig into some of the monthly charts that I put together. If you're new to the channel, I do a video each month going through all of the Bitcoin miners and comparing a bunch of different charts like this. So this is for the month of June. This is the latest and greatest information. So you're going to see here, here's RIOT Energy in fourth place of the publicly traded Bitcoin mining companies. One of the things I want to point out on this chart that I think is very telling, if you look at who they're in the neighborhood of, they mined 428 Bitcoin. There's only 3 companies above them. RIOT at 460, CleanSpark at 491, and then Marathon at a whopping 979. So this puts them at number 4 overall on a monthly basis. They've been hanging around in fourth place. I expect them to stay in that position. This I really want to emphasize. This is market cap as of July 21st, which was last Friday. And you're going to see the 3 companies that mined more Bitcoin than them are RIOT with a $3.2 billion market cap, Marathon with a $2.8 billion market cap, and CleanSpark with a $723 million market cap. So those are the 3 companies that from a monthly operational standpoint mine more Bitcoin than RIOT Energy does. But you're going to see RIOT Energy all the way down here in 10th place. There's a lot of factors that go into a company's overall market cap. But for me, RIOT Energy is a company that I think is going to compete with these other companies over the course of time. We're going to talk more about that because they do have already in their possession the infrastructure required to grow at a level to compete with these top companies. So I see them hanging around the top 5 from now really going forward for the next several years. Even though they're already from a production standpoint at number 4 and they have the potential to stay in the top 5 just as far as overall operations go, they're in a distant 10th place. They're just a little over 1/10 the size of Riot blockchain from a market cap standpoint. So again, I want to reiterate, I don't think that these should be equals, but I certainly don't think that Riot should be 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 times more the market cap. Same thing with Marathon. So I think there's some room to be made up, even though you're going to see we've already had a massive run up in Iris Energy so far. So again, a lot of our subscribers and particularly a lot of the members I know did catch a lot of this gigantic run up that we've had already, but that's why I wanted to bring this to everybody else's attention, because in my opinion, I do think there's a lot of upside left. So obviously, again, I would say add this to your watch list. I think this is something to look at, but you know, I'm not recommending that you buy this or sell this. I can't give you any recommendations. So not financial advice, but I do think there's a lot of run left ahead. So let's keep looking at what's going on. Okay, so back to their monthly operational update. A couple of other notes. Revenue per Bitcoin. So they averaged about $27,000 per Bitcoin in the month of June. So obviously that is going to go up in the month of July. It should be more like, you know, 29,500 plus or minus. The electricity cost you're going to see was $13,000 per coin. So that leaves, you know, even at 27,000, they're making about $14,000 of gross profit every time they sell a coin. That's going to go up in the month of July. Also, as we look forward at some of these other things, this company, I do believe, is going to continue to increase its efficiency and reduce that cost per coin. So I'm looking at a scenario where I think Bitcoin is going to increase in price. I'm not calling for all-time highs, but for me personally, I'm bullish on Bitcoin. I do think we're going to finish out this run at least up to $35,000 per coin sometime in the next 1 or 2 months. So they have an electricity cost of $13,000 per coin, and I do think they're going to get more efficient, but even if they remain the same, you can see that's going to create an awful lot of gross profit, and they do sell all their Bitcoin right now. This is a company that sells their Bitcoin to fund growth, and I'm going to talk about growth next because they have had massive growth, and they have massive growth planned ahead. So in fact, let's go talk about that right now. Okay, this is from their most recent investor presentation. This was put out in May. So you can see in February of 2023, which was just earlier this year, they were at 1.7 exahash as a company. So in a 12-week period from February through May, they went from 1.7 exahash to 5.5 exahash. So that was extremely rapid expansion. This is what they said they were going to do. They were talking about doing this. So, you know, oftentimes there's a difference between what companies talk about they're going to do and what they actually do. In this instance, they were able to meet that expectation and have this gigantic ramp up. This is very, very quick. So I was very impressed by this. In addition, you're going to see robust balance sheet. They have $54 million in cash at this point. We'll update that. It's actually even a little more than that now. And they have no debt. This is a company that has zero debt. And it's worth noting later when we look at their charts, they had over $100 million in debt. They were able to get rid of all of their debt and increase their cash position. So they made some big moves over the last 12 months. This is a much more valuable company today than they were 12 months ago. Yet you're going to see when we get to the charts, their stock price is actually way down from there. So that's why I think there's a lot of room left for this company to continue this growth streak it's on. Okay, so this is their journey from 1.7 exahash to 5.5 exahash. The company recently just put this press release out last month on June 20th. Okay, so you can see they're releasing a plan now to talk about how they're going to get from 5.6 exahash to 9.1 exahash in early 2024, and the key to that is prior to the halving. So they're looking to go into the halving at 9.1 exahash. You'll see here long lead items, they're looking to get to 13.6 exahash. So they own the rights to all of the infrastructure to get themselves up to 13.6 exahash. So that's why I say I do think they're going to remain in the hunt as a top 5 Bitcoin miner because they have the ability to continue to grow. They're looking to get to 9.1 exahash prior to the halving, and that is critical growth. All of this is going to happen at their Childress location, which is in Texas. I'm just going to go back one last time to their monthly operational report. Okay, so the line I want to talk about is this line here. So the company remains well capitalized with $64 million of cash and no debt. More importantly, operating cash flow from its existing 5.6 exahash. So they have $64 million of cash. They have no debt, which means they have no interest, they have no debt service, and they're cash flow positive. They do have essentially a shelf offering that they can go to for up to 25 million shares. So they have used a portion of this already, but it's a small portion. I don't know if it's 15% that they've used. So there's a lot left on that to come. And I do expect them to utilize that in order to grow. This is a company that has not had to do a lot of dilution. In fact, until earlier this year, they had done no dilution, but they will be participating on that. But remember, they're going to get from 1.7 exahash. They already got to 5.6. They're looking to get to 9.1 and then 13 plus. So a little bit of equity dilution is okay. They are cash flow positive. That's key. They have cash in the bank and no debt. So, overall, those are the reasons I think this is a very, very well-positioned company to continue to grow. I'm just going to finish out on their stock chart. This is on the 1 week time frame. I wanted to zoom out because this goes all the way back to when they went public. They did go public right here at the peak of Bitcoin in November of 2021. So that's when Bitcoin hit its all-time high. So if I measure from November of 2021 until now, they're down about 76%. Okay, so I don't know how long it's going to take for Iris Energy to get back to its personal all-time highs. I expect it's going to take a while before Bitcoin gets back to its all-time high, but Iris Energy is a much, much stronger company in my opinion. Now, I want to look at another number that's a little more realistic. If we go to February of 2022, so at this point, Bitcoin was already on its way down, headed into a crypto winter. So Iris Energy is still down 63% from that point. So looking at that the other way, from where Iris Energy is today, if it was to just get back to where it was in March of 2022, and again, Bitcoin was nowhere near its all-time high, Iris Energy was nowhere near its all-time high, they had over $100 million of debt at that point. In my opinion, they are a much, much stronger company. They're a much bigger company right now. So to me, this is a very realistic midterm price target. So, not financial advice, but in my mind, I do think this is sometime around the halving. I think Iris Energy could get to this price target, and that's only at $18. And I think this stock can take out its all-time high sometime in the next couple of years. So that would actually be over a 300% increase from where they are right now. So there's some pretty good price targets out here. We're talking about double or triple or quadruple where they're at right now. Now, obviously, that means they need to continue to have excellence in their operational updates, which they give us on a monthly basis. We will get their annual financial statements in about 2 months or less. And if Bitcoin can make a run into the halving or somewhere beyond the halving and get back to or past its all-time high, I think you're looking at a lot more room to the upside on Iris Energy. So those are the reasons I'm personally bullish on Iris Energy. I wanted to bring this to everybody's attention because, we don't talk about some of these other less popular stocks. Those are my thoughts. If you made it this far, please remember to subscribe to the channel, smash the like button, and hit the notification bell. It helps the channel out a lot. It's much appreciated. And again, if you want to support the channel, you can become a member by hitting the join button on the YouTube page. So thanks so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video.